To Unity of Athens, Georgia. If you are joining us online, we are so happy to have you today. My name is Jennifer Ferren, and Reverend Bronte is taking a little well-needed time off, and well-deserved time off. So I'm going to open up with a Wings of Song hymn that some of you may be familiar with, but I've been creative because today's talk is all about cosmic creativity. And so I'm going to do the Muppet Show version of Open My Eyes That I May See. And I wrote a bunch of new words too. And the Muppets were really good for me as a kid because they were super creative and super funny and super fun. So this is the Muppet version. To come forward, and she's going to do a formal welcome as well as an opening prayer. So thank you so much for being here, and please say hello to Peggy.
Jennifer, we love having you here. Good morning. Good morning, Unity Athens. It's time now to turn within and feel that we are connected with prayer. Our faculty or power this month is imagination. And you might say, what do you use imagination with prayer? How do you do that? And it came to me as I was driving to church this morning, and the clouds were out. There were some thick, dark clouds, and there were some light clouds. But behind the clouds, there was the sun, and it was trying to peek out. So this morning, as we get ready to do our prayer, let's imagine that we know in our hearts, in our minds, that the sun is always shining. Just as God or Great Spirit or divine mind is always, always there. No matter if they're clouds, that love and that beauty is always there for us. So now turning within, doing a scan of your body, releasing all tension. Open your beautiful heart. Open your mind and receive a wonderful blessing. Divine Mother, Father God, all that is, divine, holy all. We are so blessed. We are so immersed in the source and the force that we do call God, or any other name for the deity, for the divine mind. We see healing. We see prosperity and abundance. We see joy. We see harmonious relationships. We see wonder. We are so blessed. Now we take those blessings into our heart space. And we flow them out in a great stream to all the ones we love, to all the world. And as we gaze within or without, we see that through whatever might appear to be clouds, there is true beingness, oneness, beauty, love, and sunshine. For all these many blessings, we release these prayers to the highest and best good. And we say thank you. We have so much gratitude and praise. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is. Amen. Good morning. Hi. Come on in. We're happy, so happy to be here this morning, not only with our television family, our live stream, but with the people that are here with us this morning. Namaste and greetings. And especially happy to have Miss Jennifer Ferren with us. How wonderful is that? She has already perked us up. So today, for our daily word, I would like to read it to you. It's world peace. World peace for this Sunday, June the 13th. The affirmation is, peace shared between people spreads throughout the world. The daily word says, I contribute to world peace when I join in spirit with all people who dedicate themselves to expressing divine love, united in the belief that God is within everyone. I affirm the divinity of humankind and honor each person as a unique expression of God. I recognize and release any unkind thoughts or feelings toward any person or group. I respect all others and seek to learn more about customs and beliefs that are unfamiliar to me as I grow in the spirit of kinship. I believe a warm, friendly attitude communicates my intentions as effectively as my words. I smile easily and extend myself to others in a spirit of friendship. I remain mindful that as peace flowers between individuals, peace grows in the world. And our scripture for that is Micah 4:3. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. We see blessings on the reading of this daily word. Thank you. Sometimes we have a Unity nugget, but this morning we do not, because we have Miss Jennifer, and she's going to provide us with all the entertainment and fun and blessings that she has within her, which is huge. So I do have, though, if you will join me in celebrating, we do have some announcements that Reverend Bronte has printed out for us. Yay, announcements. Thank you all. So Reverend Bronte is away for a few days on a personal creative retreat. I do believe I saw a couple of photos on Facebook at the beauty of where she is, and it did look gorgeous. So we are wishing her a beautiful, restful, regenerative, restorative trip. We're delighted to have Jennifer. I've already said that. She's announced herself, and she's announced me, and I've announced her. She has been announced. Have you been announced?
I feel announced. I feel very seen. And recognized, so thank you.
Very seen. Very seen. I love her, and I love her headdress this morning. It's beautiful. So we're so thankful for that. Next Sunday is June the 20th, and we will celebrate Father's Day and father figures. We also have the wonderful opportunity to have a ceremony for our most recent new members. And I believe that total is about 6. So that's a celebration.
That's
and
awesome.
happy. Yeah. Okay, so another announcement. Save the date. Saturday morning, June the 26th, from 9:30 to 10:30, I'm going to this. Kathy Payne, one of our wonderful members here at Unity Athens, is opening her property for a unique opportunity to observe a native garden in process, and also to learn more about the benefits of gardening with native plants. This is a fundraiser for Unity Athens, and I know that we'll learn so much and have such a good time. Kathy was just awarded the Silver Certified Native Plant Habitat Award, and that award is given on behalf of the Georgia Native Plant Society. Please reserve your spot soon, and I know that space will be limited. And I know there's that was a lot of information, but you can find those details on our website at UnityAthens.com. And if you go there, or if you just want to put in UnityAthens.com/garden tour fundraiser. There are other news events in the newsletter, and you all had that newsletter come to you in your email. That's probably how you hooked up with us this morning, or maybe you went straight to Facebook. So now I want to read something that Reverend Bronte wants you to know. Unity Athens is continuing to be more open as more and more people get vaccinated. We're so blessed to have that, and blessed to be getting back to our usual. For the time being, there's no need to reserve a seat for Sunday. You can just come right in. But do try to arrive a little bit before 11, as the live stream is started right on time usually. And so coming in, if you can remember just to talk softly or to walk softly. It is strongly suggested that folks all wear masks while here and practice safe distancing, especially when singing, which we are going to be able to sing today, but we'll all wear our masks and sing softly. We ask that all people that are not vaccinated wear masks to keep our most vulnerable members and our unvaccinated children safe. She says, if you're feeling ill or have a temperature, please join our live stream from your home. Children are welcome, and they can sit in a group with their parents and their family, but at this time we are not able to offer any children or youth groups. So thank you. Please look at your newsletter for any other news, and that's the end of my announcements. Woohoo! Yay! Made it through that. So now it is my extreme pleasure to turn this service and the music over to Jennifer, and meditation. It will be all hers to do. And I will see you later at the Sacred Exchange. Thank you.
Jennifer. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So as I was driving into Athens today, a song came to me, and so I think I'm going to use it to get us into meditation. We're going to do our meditation first. And it's really simple if you want to try to sing along at home. Here are the words. nice deep breath in. Gently release. What is it that may be stirring in you right now? Has there been any divine unrest lately? What is it that you are waiting to create? What are you waiting for? Maybe you don't know what you want to do right now. That's the time to be still. Just take a deep breath in and say, Spirit, I am open. I invite you to enter in. I allow you to enter in. From the top of my head, all through my brain and my mind, all through my nervous system, all through the major systems of my body. I see you working through my eyes and my ears and my nose and my mouth and my face and my voice and my throat. I see you working through my shoulders and my elbows and all of the joints and the hands and the fingers and the toes. All through my major organs, all through every thought, all through every action. I see you shining through me. And I open and allow myself to do great works, great things that I may not even know I want to do. I open myself to newness. I open myself to attract new things and to take myself beyond, far beyond where I've been. Far beyond the stars, far beyond the furthest galaxies, I'm open to all unlimited possibility. I am open, spirit enter in. I am open, spirit work through me. Use my hands and use my feet. Use my mind and all of me. I am open, spirit work through me. I am open, spirit work through me. Let's now come back to this time and this place together. It's all about energy. Today's theme is cosmic creativity. And that's all about that universal energy. There is no you, there is no me, there's only energy. Breathe it out and breathe it in. Feel the shift and then transcend. Allow the everlasting transcend. Allow the ebb, allow the flow, allow yourself to just let go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Vibrations rising, each breath is guiding all that can be, harmony, clarity, what may be. Breathe it out and breathe it in. Feel the shift and then transcend. Allow the ebb, allow the flow, allow yourself to just let go. So welcome, welcome. Thank you. Welcome to Cosmic Creativity. I'm going to switch places and come up to the podium so you don't have to look at me through the plexiglass for the whole service. Stand by 2 shakes. Oh, get up there. Come on, bones and joints and muscles. I've been sitting up there nice and comfortable so long. So welcome, welcome again. I am Jennifer Ferren. I've been speaking all over the United States for the past 7 years and doing music and concerts. And this is a brand new talk, and it's called Cosmic Creativity. I'm kind of playing with the camera, and I should be playing you guys too, but I'm looking right at the camera. In his book, The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle says, the infinitely creative womb of all existence is stillness. He says, most humans are completely unconscious of this dimension. When there is no inner space or inner stillness, the result is imbalance. And then in tandem, when we focus more on our own ego-based needs and our very, very in-your-face physical needs, and we disconnect from our inner strength and our inner power and our inner divine connection to spirit and to higher consciousness, the resulting imbalance can cause us to become unstable. And when we become unstable, of course, that's when all of our fear and all of our worry and all of our insecurities and our self-consciousness comes up. Fear is like a meteor that's coming in from outer space. Like you think it's just going to land right on you and destroy if you try to do something new or something different. Try to do things with technology. Oh, that'll bring those fears right up. So it's super important for all of us at the very beginning of this talk about cosmic creativity to understand the vital importance of stillness. From nothing, that is the birth of where all things are created. And so the whole goal sometimes when we have had this divine unrest or we feel like there's something new or something that we want to try, the whole crux of the biscuit is to just get still and do like what I just said in the song Going In and Out of Meditation that I wrote on the way here. Spirit, I open and allow you in. My personal life, and I'm sure many of you, your lives have slowed down to some degree since coronavirus hit. And for me personally, I was already gearing down to have Mom move in. So I had already cleared up my calendar. And, oh, I didn't have my glasses on. I'm just realizing that it's you. You had your mask on. When people wear their masks, sometimes they're incognito and you don't realize who they are. Anywho, so I had already been slowing down my schedule. And so when things really shut down when COVID hit, it wasn't as much of a gobsmack for me. And it wasn't so weird for me. Now, you know, the past 15, 20 years of my life, there were times when I was working 7 days a week. And so I was ready to slow down. I'm like, bring it on. I wish it hadn't been under this circumstance. But, you know, Mother Nature and Spirit and divine consciousness all have a way of, when we are refusing to do it ourselves, to put out the little sonic boom. Say, everybody's shutting down. Everybody's going to reset. Everybody's going to take some time. Well, I've been doing the tippy top of your head and just every day now. There are 2 things I do now on a daily basis that are holding me in very good stead, and I encourage you and invite all of you to try it. The first one is, throughout the day, at some point during the day, I either flop down on my bed because it's comfy, because I've just got one of those nice total mattress toppers on it, so that's like a really good place to flop down. So I just flop down and I just spread my arms wide and I say, Spirit, come on in. I see you coming in through my crown chakra, and I see you really taking extra time with all the nooks and crannies of my brain, because that's where everything is starting to flow from, all my thoughts, all my ideas. I see you absolutely permeating every little cell, every atom, every mitochondria, everything in my body. I see everything just filled and permeated with your divine spiritual guidance and your energy. And I open myself to be creative and to have fun today and to explore and be adventurous. Now all that rigmarole, depending on what verbiage I use, usually takes about 5 minutes. I'm pretty hyper, and so I can't stay still for too very long. But I have been doing that every day. And as a result, little things are starting to shift and happen. Now, the other thing that I do at night, my bedtime prayer is, Dear God, I completely surrender. I surrender everything I am right now. I surrender anything that happened today, anything from my past that's still hanging on. I just let it all go. That's my nighttime prayer. That takes maybe 2 or 3 minutes, not very long. But just affirming those 2 things in my mind to myself and reminding myself are starting to make really cool changes in my life. And being still, and with all of us having been still, if some of us maybe have had to work harder, but there are a fair amount of us that have kind of had to be still. So why not use your time productively and wisely and start really practicing your conscious techniques? So those are 2 things that I've really been doing, and little things have started happening. You might notice my little head wrap today. Well, it was going to be masks for everyone. Because I don't know if you can see it on the camera, I had this really cool galaxy kind of pattern. Mom and I went to Joanne Fabrics the other day. And I knew there wouldn't be, 100 people here. I thought, I'll crank out 20 masks, and whoever comes in, I'll give them a mask to take home with them. Well, I didn't get still and center myself before I started the project. I just blurted it out and just blurted my action and just started doing. Well, I had lost my pattern. At the beginning of the pandemic, I made probably a couple 100 masks. And I was a member of a mask group, and I sent them to a lot of my family members. I did a bunch of stuff. I probably brought some here. And I'm not God's gift to seamstress and to sewing. I'm not the seamstress goddess. I wish I was. My mom is, and my daughter is. But I can Frankenstein and put stuff together. Well, I go to start making these masks out of this cute material, and my brain just froze, and it was not flowing. And I lost the pattern. I didn't know where the measurements were, and I started getting frustrated the first 10 minutes, and I'm like, and then a voice inside my head said, hey, just breathe. You know what? You work with Eddie most of the days of the week, and you're out there in the hot sun. You always need bandanas and head wraps. So just shift what you're doing. You can still use your creative energy. You still want to create, because that's what brings you joy. You don't have to do masks for every single person. Just stop and cut 2 giant squares and make yourself a couple of bandanas to wear at work. And they're kind of super cute too. I might just start wearing them every day. You never know if I'm having a bad hair day. But that's one of the big things about being creative, and the little things that are stirring inside you, that little fear, oh my gosh, oh, this is not flowing. This is not working for me. And sometimes we'll stop ourselves in our tracks and just give up, and then just go dink around on our phone, or go outside and make a cup of tea and sit on the front porch or whatever. But another thing that I have done lately is I got some mosaic tile. Mom had a really big table out next to her in her patio area, and I just started going online looking at little tile samples. You can get them for like $5 for a big old thing of tile, little mosaic tiles. And I just mosaicked her table outside. And it turned out super cool. And I posted like 5,000 pictures of it, but I never have laid tile before. And you know, all the artists in the room can probably know that sometimes you don't have to know what you're doing before you start. It is good to center and be still and ask for guidance, and maybe go on YouTube or Facebook and you know, chat with friends and get a basic understanding. But I didn't do any of that for the mosaic thing. I just did it and put it together, and it ended up looking really, really cool. And another thing that I have done recently is that in the front of my house, there was just a dinky little flower bed with 3 huge, huge bushes that were just way overgrown. And I started gardening. That Lowe's was having the 5 for 10 mulch. You get 5 bags of mulch, big bags of mulch for $10. Well, I start this project, it takes me a few days, I'm clearing stuff out, I'm weeding stuff out, and in the back of my mind, I'm just wanting to be creative. I don't know what I'm doing, I don't necessarily have a green thumb, but I just want to be creative and use some of my energy, because I'm here at home, and why not do something productive around the house? And so my neighbor Pam, who we kind of jokingly call her yard the Robertson Botanical Garden, it's not really a joke. I mean, it really does look like a botanical garden. Her husband is a horticulturist, and she's got a phenomenal green thumb. And their garden's going up and down their driveway and the front of their house. The whole back of their house is like a little fairyland of really cool different plants and bird feeders and art objects. So here comes Pam walking over on like the 5th day of me in my garden. She's like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just messing around. What are you doing?" She's like, "Well, yeah, I see you're about to lay all your plants out. You've got everything all ready to go." And I said, "Yeah, you got any ideas?" Wink, wink. And sure enough, she said, "You know what, just leave me to it. I've got some stuff over from my garden that I'll add in there. I've got some hostas, and I've got some black-eyed Susans, and I've got a big old bunch of daisies that I need to break apart because they're getting too huge." She's like, "You just go and work around the house and do something over in that other garden, and I'll just lay everything out for you." And in an hour's time, the garden was just beautiful. And all of this to say that sometimes, even if you don't necessarily know what the next steps are going to be, but you have this burning desire, there's something that brings you, that is like sparking your imagination, that's making you grin from ear to ear, because you can't wait to try it and see if you can pull it off. I do that all the time. I invite all of you guys to do that. Just try it. And just like with the mask thing that turned into 2 bandanas. You know, now, instead of doing something for everybody else, I actually did something for myself, which is rare. And so you just never know, as you're using this creative energy, how it's going to fork off and go in this direction, and then sometimes it can go into that direction, sometimes it can go into another direction. The one thing that I do know that is a universal law, and it's one of the mind action, is one of the laws of unity as well. The universe will support positive forward motion and support action. And the sooner that we start taking baby steps and trying something new and taking some kind of action, the universe is like, "Oh, look, hey, look at that. Look, she wants to play. Come on, let's go see what we can do to help her out." The universe and your angels, and there are so many forces and powers that be that are always available to help us. And all we do is we do like Eckhart Tolle says, and we just still ourselves and say, "I would like to play. Spirit, come and play through me. Come and create through me." I was in the grocery store the other day, and I was at the magazine rack at the checkout stand. You've got all the magazines, and there was one that had a really neat cover on it, and the only 3 words were "breathe, mental health." And I thought, well, that kind of looks cool. I'm going to check that out and see if they might have some good tips for my talk. And I also do a lot of workshops, or I did before the pandemic hit, mindfulness workshops for teachers and pre-K teachers in town, where I used to work for baby dance and baby yoga. Sometimes we would go in and take care of the teachers too and give them little 15-minute or 30-minute sessions. And so I grabbed the magazine and I brought it home. And one of the articles said this: "It's good to feel other at times. It's why people visit foreign countries. It's why they try different skills and join different groups. It's to become immersed in newness. To feel other can be positive and exciting." And I'm like, yes, that's exactly it. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about cosmic creativity.
It's not just trying something with trepidation. It's like boldly stepping into it. What is Star Trek? Boldly go where no man has ever gone before. You know, we're talking about cosmic creativity. Well, you know, most of us in our lifetime may not get in a rocket and go to the moon. Well, you never know. It ain't over yet. Some of us may. But you just never know until you get yourself and you're brave enough to become completely vulnerable to step out and try something new. Get out of your comfort zone. I know that many of you have probably been experiencing the divine unrest in the past few months. I have. But many of us were probably have been questioning what we were doing and how we were spinning our wheels before COVID. And then we've had the whole time of COVID to kind of meditate and veg out. And now that we've meditated and vegged out a little bit and had some time to chill, now we're starting to think, well, the world is opening back up. How are we going to present out? What are we going to do? How are we going to take ourselves back on out into the world? And Joseph Campbell says in The Hero's Journey, follow your bliss and the universe will open doors for you where before there were only walls. Can you imagine all the people that had to sit in traffic for hours and hours every day? And millions of people have discovered that they can work from home now. Wow. And some people aren't going to have to go back into the office. Some of these companies are like, hey, you're actually being more productive at home. So we're just going to let you keep working from home now that we've all figured out how to do it. So you just don't know how we're going to go back out into society. But right now, I feel like everybody's kind of been on hold. And the world is our oyster. We're opening up our doors, and we're getting in our cars, and we're going, and we're seeing new things, and anything's good right now because we've been cooped up for so long. But the world is your oyster, so consider trying something that you've never tried before. Consider creating something that you've always wanted to create. You don't necessarily have to be a beautiful pen and ink artist or do oils or, you know, do music. You don't necessarily have to be a musician or a professional artist to just try new things and to create things. It's time to get our chi flowing again. It's time to get our energy moving. So what are you interested in? What are your strengths? What have you been thinking about doing but never got around to it? What is it that just simply brings you bliss? Follow that. If you love dogs, maybe you're in between dogs right now. Go to a dog park. Just hang out at the dog park and watch other people's dogs being cute. You know, there's little baby steps that we can do to get back out into the world that are new things for us, new experiences. There's another teacher, a Buddhist teacher. Her name is Eloise Surfleet Middleton. She's a transformational teacher and founder of Do Your Dharma and Dharma Mastery. And I love what she says. When you get clear about what lights you up, your excitement acts as a compass. You might not know how you're going to achieve what you want, but by following your joy, being in alignment with who you truly are, doors will open. They always do. The universe will always answer you with a yes. When you say yes to life, the universe will always say, oh boy, here we go. And when you are open and when you allow spirit to enter in and when you're still and you take that time and say, just work through me. I don't even know what I want to do. And then just start taking little action steps, just baby steps, hither and yon, just like my little mosaic thing, just like the garden, just like the little bandana thing. You just never know where it's going to take you. Now, I don't know how many people of you guys are big fans of HGTV, but there's a super cute new show, and it's called Bargain Block. And it's these two guys, they are a couple, they've been together for quite some time doing these houses, and they move into the houses that they're working on so they don't ever have to pay a mortgage or pay rent, and it helps them save money and to go on to the next project. And it has become their goal, and they say it very plainly in the opening of their show, to rebuild the city of Detroit. And they're going into a lot of the most neglected neighborhoods and just buying super cheap, destroyed-looking houses. And sometimes it takes them a couple of months because some of these houses are pretty screwed up. But one by one, they are making it their mission to rebuild Detroit. And they're like, we're not going to get to every single house, but we feel like this is our calling. And I'm sure when they first started out, they probably had been crafty and artistic and creative all their lives. And then this turned into a job for them, but now it's not just a job, it's not just their vocation, it's a ministry. And it's just like the mother and daughter team in Good Bones in Indianapolis. It's the same thing. They're going to a lot of these rundown houses, and they are absolutely building, and the neighbors around the area love it when these people come in. The couple out of Laurel, Mississippi, hometown, they're just sweet as can be, and they're so creative. And Erin, the girl on that show, she actually paints a little watercolor for them of their finished house and gives it to them at the end of the show. So I'm not saying that anything that you do is going to be on that huge of a scale, but you just never know. When the AC is coming on. The AC is coming on and slapping us. But you just never know when you start to do something. And I know all of our artists can say that too. You don't know when you start a piece what it's going to turn into. You just don't know. And all of a sudden you've created a masterpiece. I'd like to close with a quote from Rumi, and this is part of his writing, Unfold Your Own Myth. And when I was looking through some of my books to get some inspiration for today, I always go to Rumi because, it's just so substantial. So here's what Rumi says. Who gets up early to discover the moment light begins? Who finds us here circling, bewildered like atoms? Who comes to a spring thirsty and sees the moon reflected in it? Who, like Jacob, blind with grief and age, smells the shirt of his last son and can see again? Who let a bucket down and brings up a flowing prophet? Or, like Moses, goes for a fire and finds what burns inside the sunrise? Maybe you're a writer. Maybe it's not going to be as profound as Rumi, but maybe it will be. Maybe you always thought about submitting something to a magazine. Just blog post something online. I invite all of us to come out of our shells, to come out of our hibernation, and to do what brings you the most bliss and the most joy. Do something new and be bold. Be adventurous. The world needs your energy right now. We're all co-creating right now. We're like a bunch of atoms just swirling around. There's so much good that we can do right now. And when you do something creative and new and fun, it automatically gives everyone around you permission to do something creative and fun. And then when people come up and say, hey, how are you doing today? You can actually tell them. The excitement comes out in your voice. Well, I've just been trying to do such and such, and it's actually going pretty cool. It's nice to be inspiring to people. The world needs your energy and your newness and your willingness to co-create. And so I say to all of you, take your energy, use it wisely, use it with fun and with joy and with bliss in your hearts. And until we meet again, namaste. Oh, no.
No, not today.
I did that for meditation.
You ready? Okay.
Yeah, we're going to let Peggy come back up, and we'll get ready for our offertory portion of the program.
Thank you, Jennifer. That was really a great talk, and it was just along the lines of what we have a prayer chaplain here today. Martha Cook is our prayer chaplain this week. The prayer chaplains will be, at least one of us will be here each week, so that those who are here in person can once again have a prayer with a prayer chaplain if they so desire. And so this morning, before we started, I asked Martha if she would pray for me, and what we prayed about was right along the theme of what Jennifer just spoke about. Creativity, knowing our path, letting our light shine. So thank you, Jennifer, again. We appreciate you, and we love you. So now it's the time in the service to do the sacred exchange. And so our verse for sacred exchange today is going to be Luke 6:38. Give, and it will be given to you. A large quantity, pressed together, shaken down, and running over, will be put into your lap. Because you'll be evaluated by the same standard with which you evaluate others. And now we have our regular sacred exchange. You see if all the hearts in the basket, but it would be able to see me anyhow. No. Okay, so if you can put up, we'll say together, if you want to put your hand on your heart or whatever. Divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am so blessed. Thank you, Mother, Father, God. Amen, and so it is. There are many ways that we can donate to Unity Athens. Kevin had that slide up, and I actually just slipped over it. But there's online. You can mail it to our Unity post office box, and it's www.UnityAthens.com. Thank you all for all the donations that have kept us going all through these months and years. And I'm so glad to see a couple of you here today in person for a long time. I just want to give you a big hug. So thank you so much. And thank you all of the ones who have supported us through the live stream. It's been wonderful. We're going to do the prayer of protection together. We're asking that slide from Kevin, and he'll get that up for us. Kevin, thank you for guiding us through this service today without Reverend Bronte. It's been a joy, and it's been an adventure. It's been creative, right?
It has been creative. It's been out of this world.
It's been out of this world. Okay. So now let's say the prayer of protection together. Thank you, Kevin. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well right now.
And
So,
Peggy, I think I will close. I'll do the closing song as my final solo, and then that way we'll just end the service like that.
Sounds perfect.
What do you think about that? So we'll do one more song, and then we'll close it on out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Peggy.
Thank you, Jennifer.
All right, hold on to your bootstraps.